Let's dive in. Today, we're taking a specific look into a classic homeopathic text.
Yeah, the source is William Boericke's Homeopathic Materia Medica.
Right, and we're zeroing in on Anagallis arvensis, Scarlet Pimpernel. The idea is to unpack what this specific historical source says, symptoms, uses, what insights can we, pull out.
It's fascinating, though, like opening a window onto how they observed things back then. These aren't lab reports, they're compilations of symptoms.
Exactly. So Boericke starts with general stuff, Anagallis, marked action on skin.
Right, great itching and tingling everywhere. That's pretty direct.
Yeah. And he mentions older uses like an old medicine for hydrophobia and dropsy.
Historical terms, of course. Rabies, severe fluid retention.
Sure. And also oddly specific things like softening flesh and destroying warts.
And helping expel splinters. It's quite a mix.
It really is. Shows the range they perceived. Okay, let's get into the specific symptoms listed. This is where it gets interesting. Under head. The first thing listed, great hilarity.
Slight chuckle. Yeah, that one always stands out, doesn't
It
it?
really does. Seems so out of place with physical stuff.
It shows how they viewed things holistically, right? Mental, emotional states were just as key as physical ones. Boericke included everything reported.
Makes sense. Okay, physical headaches too. Over supraorbital ridges, so above the eyebrows.
And linked with rumbling in bowels and irritations.
Basically, gut noises and burping. And, key detail, better from coffee.
That specificity is typical. They look for those unique patterns. What makes this headache distinct?
Also mentions sick headache and pain in facial muscles. Okay, moving on. Extremities.
Right.
Lists rheumatic and gouty pains. Mentions pain in shoulder and arm. Standard enough, maybe.
But then,
Then this incredibly precise note, cramp and ball of thumbs and fingers.
yeah, not just hand cramp, the fleshy part. That's very granular.
Where does that kind of detail come from?
Likely from provings.
Yeah.
People taking the substance and meticulously recording everything they felt, or detailed patient reports.
Gotcha. Okay, urine section. Also very specific. More or less irritation in urethra, with a note inclining to coition, which is, definitely an
Unusual correlation noted there.
then a burning pain on urinating with agglutination of orifice. So sticking together.
Right.
Plus the urine passes in several streams, must press before it passes. A very mechanical description.
Again, it paints such a clear picture of the experience. That precision likely came straight from those detailed personal accounts,
hopes.
how it felt, how it flowed.
Right. And then back to skin, which he flagged early on.
Yeah, the marked action.
He elaborates. Intense itching, dry, bran-like eruption, especially on hands and fingers.
And stressing the palms, right?
Palms especially affected, yes. Also vesicles in groups and ulcers and swellings on joints.
So that skin picture is really consistent. Itchy, dry, focus on the hands. It backs up that initial claim strongly.
The text adds relationship details too. Mentions Anagallis contains saponin
A chemical component.
and suggests comparing it to cyclamen and primula obconica. And for dose,
What does it say?
first to third potency.
Okay, so relatively lower dilutions generally. That gives context within their system.
So stepping back, looking at Boericke on Anagallis, it's this, peculiar mix, isn't it?
Definitely.
Intense skin stuff on the hands, that weird great hilarity, specific pains like the thumb cramp, the odd urinary details.
It really shows how these old texts just collected everything reported. No filtering for what seemed logical by modern standards. Just the full spectrum of effects.
So what does this specific collection tell you, the listener, about the plant itself, about how they observed things back then?
Or maybe just about the sheer complexity of how substances and bodies interact. So many potential effects.
Yeah, something to ponder anyway, as you think about this little glimpse into a historical medical text.